we're here. You know, you're the first ones on this great place. We call it the Rose Garden Club. And it's a club for senators, for congresspeople, and for people in Washington, and frankly, people that can bring peace and success to our country. And you're invited.
I want to show you guys more of what he was saying to these folks at this Elitist dinner at the parking lot of the White House again. We're finding out what it is, where his priorities are. And I'm wondering if we're going to start listening.
What we've done has been incredible. I'm so happy about that, but I'm really happy when you see almost $17 trillion will be invested in this country over the next few months, actually. We started from the day we came in. November 5th was a big day. It was Liberation Day in a lot of different ways. It's a lot of different forms of liberation. But what we really have is something that I don't think any country has ever had. We're going to have over 17 trillion, and that number is going to go much higher than that, invested in our country, and is being invested right now as we speak. We have factories from all over the world coming in. We have car plants that were stolen from us. We had 40%, 47% of our car industry stolen from us over the last 40 years. And I think the number is actually much higher than that. They say 47. I think it's a lot higher. It's all coming back. The AI plants are massive. Some of them cost $50 billion. We're allowing them to build electricity with their plant. Nobody ever heard of that before. They're built, and if we didn't do that, they couldn't hook into the grid. We wouldn't have AI.
He's got all of these hundreds of $billions of investments coming from AI, coming from these folks who bought their way into influence and power in this country. And that's supposed to be a good thing. You know, I was hearing about in Louisiana, that's where they're not coming with more of these AI plants, and they're going to suck up more of the resources. They are leeches. These guys take things, make money off it, and tell you it's your fault for the situation that you're left in after they suck all resources away from you. It's supposed to, well, I think within the first 2 years of these new Google plants or wherever AI plants are coming down, that they're supposed to then have dried up all the resources in 2 years. And they move on to the next. And the uneducated folks that they've told, hey, look, I've got your back. They're like, this is great. They're coming to destroy us. You welcome in your destroyer. It's amazing, bro. But, you know, that's how overconfident and empty promises end up destroying a country that has all these lofty ideas about ourselves that don't match up to reality. Look at the way he's talking about the people who he's talking to, and compare that to how much he's not talking to those farmers who are, dead.
Most of those people were here. You know, you're the first ones on this great place. We call it the Rose Garden Club. And it's a club for senators, for congresspeople, and for people in Washington, and frankly, people that can bring peace and success to our country. And you're invited as congressmen. Mostly we have congressmen and senators tonight. Again, you know why you're first? Because it rained last night. I had the high-tech guys we're going to hear, and they didn't want to have rain on top of their beautiful heads. We had the highest IQ last night in the history of the world, and we took them inside because 2 reasons. Number one, I wanted you to be number one, and you were. They could have endured the little rain, but I wanted you to be number one. And I would say I would match IQ tonight here with what we had last night, meaning IQ of common sense and survival. Okay, I think you have a higher IQ in certain ways, let me tell you. But we had a great group last night, and they're investing tens of billions. They're investing trillions of dollars. Some of the companies are investing literally trillions of dollars in this great country of ours.
It's the Elitist Club. It's the Rose Garden Club for congressmen, for senators, for some of the smartest IQ-loving people in the country. You know, billionaires came in. Did you know that they're investing and they want nothing back for it? Did you know that billionaires in a capitalistic society come into and give a for-sale president as small amount of money as possible? Sometimes they give him gold statues and for him to say, you can have everything, as he doesn't have to give up anything because none of it is his. It's ours. He said, take it. You gave me money so that I can tell them to be afraid of the trans children while you go and take everything that they've got. And while you're doing that, I'm going to continue to just have these Rose Garden Club meetings, the highest IQ people that know. He pointed out, he said, for survival. At what point will we finally go oh my God, these are the bad guys. These are the guys that are killing you. Matter of fact, this is one of the ways that they're making sure that they kill you. Here's a headline from the Financial Times. The Financial Times point out that Americans face the biggest increase in healthcare costs in 15 years. Wow, crazy. These rising premiums are going to add pressure on households that are already feeling the pinch from the high price of goods. It's almost like it's constant. If it's not from the groceries, it's then from your health insurance, then your lack of care that you will no longer get, because whether it's private, whether it's public, which they're getting rid of course, is through with this bill, and whether or not it's work-based health insurance, all those premiums are going up. The dude said it during the campaign. He told more of those elite folks in one of those smaller campaign rallies where people weren't wearing red hats. He goes, I'm going to give you guys tax breaks and you're going to love me.
Because you're all people that have a lot of money. I know 20 of you and you're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay off our debt.
He wasn't talking to those guys with red hats on, standing in front of gas stations saying $2.99 a gallon, Mr. President. He wasn't talking to the farmers who have since killed themselves. And there's all this extra farm equipment that's being auctioned off now for a little to no cost for the normal amounts, because it's just sitting there because those farmers have killed themselves, or that they've decided to leave the business and no longer pass it down to the fifth and sixth generations of their sons and daughters because they can't afford it anymore. He's not talking to them. Here's Scott Bessent. He's a billionaire.
The president said that these tariffs are going to spark a manufacturing renaissance, he called it. But since he announced them in April, the U.S. has actually lost 42,000 manufacturing jobs. Are these numbers proof that the tariffs are failing to produce the manufacturing jobs that President Trump promised?
Again, Kristen, it's been a couple of months, and with the manufacturing sector, as you know, we can't snap our fingers and have factories built. So what we are seeing is a record amount of investment intentions. We've seen a CapEx boom in the first half of the year, and I think that was actually held back. The One Big Beautiful Bill, which has full expensing for factories and equipment, was passed on July 4th. Many companies were holding back then. So we are going to see construction jobs and we're going to see manufacturing jobs.
We're going to see it. Who knows if you'll ever see it, but you're supposed to wait and see it. Did you guys hear what he said? We can't just snap our fingers and factories will be built here. We can't just snap our fingers and have all the things that we said we'd snap our fingers and have happen immediately. When smart people said, it's impossible to build huge factories in a day. And then Donald Trump said, watch, we're going to do it so fast, it'll make your head spin. But now that your head is spinning, what they're saying is keep spinning your head for another 6 months. You know what? It'll come eventually. One day you're going to have all these manufacturing jobs, $17 trillion. It doesn't even make any sense. Since those manufacturing jobs aren't here, and we're, as Maria Bartiromo no longer wants to report, we're losing manufacturing jobs. This is more of Scott Bessent.
But Mr. Secretary, the economy did add nearly 500,000 manufacturing jobs under former President Biden. In this case, since April, again, you're actually losing manufacturing jobs. Is that problematic for your policy?
Well, a couple of things, Chris. We're going to get the revisions for last year next week, and there may be as big as an 800,000 job downward revision. Again, this would be the second downward revision, so I'm not sure what these people who collect the data have been doing. It's good. We need good data. Secondly, what we are seeing is the jobs that are being created are going to either native-born or legal Americans. Most of the jobs created under the Biden administration, they went to illegal aliens.
Well, and I think that there would be a lot of debate over the fact that they went to illegal aliens, but let's keep moving.
No. That's the fact.
Okay, let's keep moving.
No, let's not keep moving on. Kristen Welker has to point out, first off, no, these aren't debatable. I mean, Mr. Secretary, it may be debatable as you're saying that all of those manufacturing jobs went to illegal aliens. It's not debatable. Stop giving them any kind of air to breathe on these lies. If it was all going to illegal aliens, it's weird how all those folks who had those jobs paid taxes and it's on the books. It's in our systems and those things can be verified. Folks who do work that's off the books because they don't have proper documentation aren't doing it on the books, as you can obviously and plainly see. So when people lose jobs, we can see the jobs actually lost. We see plants closing. We see manufacturing stopping. It's right there in front of you. And all he has to say is, no, no, no. It's not even debatable. It's the truth. Let's move on. Why are we moving on? You just lied. Why don't we continue to ask? Because you know what? She did ask him one more question.
You're quoting big companies, but the big company index, the S&P, is at a new high.
Hasbro says they're going to have to increase their prices. Goldman Sachs says 86% of the tariff revenue collected so far has been paid by American businesses and consumers. So just bottom line, Mr. Secretary, do you acknowledge that these tariffs are a tax on American consumers?
No, I don't.
Even though you have companies saying they are going to have to increase prices, and given the fact that 86% of these tariffs so far have been paid by Americans.
You're quoting Goldman Sachs. So
yes, Goldman Sachs, correct.
I made
Which I said, yeah.
I made a good career trading against Goldman Sachs.
Okay.
No, not okay. Okay, you're right, Scott. You made a ton of money trading against Goldman Sachs. What the fuck does that have to do with this economic outlook right now when you're telling people to their face, you know those higher prices you're paying? They're not higher prices that you're paying. And she said, well, I mean, the people that are charging them higher prices are saying they're charging them higher prices because of the tariffs. I traded against those people. Talk about an elitist piece of shit. At what point will we finally stop listening to them?